Thanks. Break. Oh, jeez. Look at this. Oh no. It's empty. Odie! Honestly though. Well, you peed there. Yeah, you did. Oh, you are terrible. Oh, I should check. Gotta check before we leave. Gotta check if I have any eggs. I know, girls. I know. Let me just check. No. Hello. Oh, you coming out to talk? Come on. Come on, this way. Oh, so, hello. Greetings and salutations. Oh, seriously, Odie. Oh, already, complications. Okay. I didn't go out this morning, so he's freaking out. Okay, we're going. So I didn't. Okay. All right, we didn't go in the morning. I confess. Hang on. Gotta straighten you guys out. I confess, I didn't come out in the morning. Can you tell? I always hate when the camera's so close. All right. We're gonna check if there's any eggs in this one because it's so cold. It's not that cold actually because it's snowing. Hello, ladies. Look at y'all. Hi. Hello. Oh, girls, you're so cute. Thank you, girls, if you're gonna give me some eggs today. You already gave me some, I know. Oh, there's another one. Look at that. Oh, another one. So that's 8 today. Girls, thank you, girls. That's 8, y'all. That's 8. 8. Hey. Don't get into a fight with my rooster. You don't peck a dog, you silly. The stupid rooster started pecking my dog, so my dog started pecking him. I don't... Yes, I know. It was ridiculous. I'll come back and check on you guys in about an hour. So I got one egg. Ew, did you bite a rooster? He didn't bite him hard. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So my husband, we're going to check out what my husband did yesterday. Yesterday I didn't go for a walk. It was Saturday. And oh my gosh, I've been having, you know what? I think I'm technically challenged. Yep, that's gotta be it. Because I constantly have problems with technology. So I ran out of space on my hard drive and I didn't have that much, that much stuff on it. So I think it was only like 1 terabyte of information. Anyway, my husband went outside because I wanted to clean the house because I couldn't do any work. I had to ask my friend to order me a new hard drive because I can't erase everything. Anyways, long story short, look what my husband did. Oh, look at this. I don't have to walk on like a little time because I invited my husband for a walk. Although it looks kind of a little bit ugly, but anyway. And I invited him on a walk, but we discovered very quickly we can't walk side by side because this is a one-man show here. I only come here with the dog, just me. And so I had, carved out one little tiny little, what's it called? Yeah, I'm not sure I really like it, to be honest. I mean, I love my husband, and I'm so glad that he he did this for me because it's, and dog likes it. I don't know, visually it's not stunning. Let's just put it that way. But I love you, dear. If you ever do watch this, hopefully you don't. But anyway, so that's that. A woman's never happy, I guess. That's that. So I've been having problems. I wasn't able to upload, download, do anything because my external hard drive was completely full. So that was a new problem that I had to learn about, which was interesting. So yesterday I didn't go for a walk. Not that I fell off the wagon, but once a week, I figure, once a week, if I don't go on a Saturday because I'm doing cleaning and stuff like that, it's not going to kill me. But I did miss the walk, and as you can see, Odie missed the walk. But anyway, that's neither here or there. The weather has been frightful. This morning I woke up and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go in this. First of all, it was quite cold. Second of all, it was like very wet snow. So then everything is going to get wet. I really don't feel like getting wet. But anyway, so we didn't go out this morning. He's been circling and circling me. And now, we are out. And as soon as he saw me getting my jacket on and my boots and my scarf and everything, oh my gosh, he was so funny. Anyway, that's just those updates. And then I was talking to my mom. Hi, Mom. Again, as I do every day. And I was telling her sort of my take on Odin. Odin, come here. Leave them alone. Come on. He's scaring the birds. Like we have a whole bunch of like wild chickens. They're called wild chickens, or they're called what are they called again? Partridges. And they're like, Odin, leave her alone. Come on. They actually go into the trees. They're not like regular chickens. They do fly. Come on. So I wanted to check out my husband's work because he was so proud of himself yesterday. Because I'm like, I'm wondering what he's doing. Like, he might be a little cockeyed because the whole thing is cockeyed. As soon as I switch it, it'll like drop. And he's like, oh, I did the whole road for you because, when he walked on it, he was like, oh my God, you're going to kill yourself. Like, I know, but I have a beaten path that I go on every day and it should be okay. One man show is fine. Anyways, as I was talking to my mom, I was making the case that when I eat, and this has actually so far, when I talked to you guys and I told you about how foul of a mood I was, so this is kind of an addition to that, sort of building on that, because it made me really think when I actually realized, oh my gosh, when I actually realized that I had eaten sugar and that I was like, my emotions got really rattled, I was telling my mom. And we were kind of talking about it. And I told her that because I cheated again yesterday on my year anniversary, believe it or not. On my year anniversary, I cheated. That's, I know, pathetic, but I'm putting it out there. I'm not going to regret what I did. I did it. Okay, I cough up to it. I admit it. And I'm back on the wagon, whatever. Every so often I cheat. Like I told you, up to 4 times a month I've cheated. And generally it's like with an apple, as I said before, with a banana or whatever. Yesterday I cheated with a nectarine and a cucumber. Okay, Odie, come on. And this morning, I wanted to see if I was in a foul mood, and I wasn't. and I didn't have any emotional like feelings where I felt like crying or whatever. And I said to my mom, what's really weird is I'm going to have to try this next month. So next month, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Come on, Artie. Come on. And I'm going to have a little bit of an experiment. I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment where I'm going to exact same thing. I'll watch a movie again, and I'll again do the strawberry yogurt and the Brazilian nuts. And I'm going to see if the next day I'm also feeling kind of out of sorts. And it wasn't like anything massive, but I realized that since I've been on this diet, and I want to make a case for this diet because I kind of want to tell you guys what my experience is after a year. Granted, in the last 6 months, I have cheated up to 4 times in a month, and that might not give the exact results as a person that has been religious. That is true, and everybody has to take that into consideration, even myself. But I will say that this diet has made my emotions steady. It has even keeled my emotions to a point where when something is happening, even like the stuff with the electronics, I really hated electronics. Not because I hate what they do, but I don't understand them. I don't know how to work them very well. And so basically I would get very frustrated, and I would like want to throw the piece of electronics across the room instead of trying to figure it out. And lately I have been able to, quite frankly, work through it, figure it out, and not panic. Like that would be my normal go-to, is I would panic. What do you see? What's there? What do you see? What's there? What do you see? Maybe something's hiding in there. Come on, let's go. And so when I woke up and I had for no reason, I had an emotional day, I thought, okay, something's going on. And I used to be much more just not resilient emotionally. And I don't know, it could be a combination of things. It could be a mini combination of things. But ultimately, I really accredit this diet to a lot of changes in me. Not only the physical changes in terms of like how I don't have stomach cramps, I don't have stomach pain anymore. My bowel movements are freaking like Hollywood freaking ready. Like at any point there could be a camera coming into the bathroom and taking a beautiful shot of the perfect bowel movement. I'm sure you're going to get a kick out of this, Mom, because my mom always laughs about how I can write an essay on bowel movements. And truly, very important. Bowel movements are super important. If you do not think they're important, then I think you need to get back to the books and you need to study, because that is something that is very important in our everyday health. So when I embarked on this diet, I think I talked about it at length one time when I was driving. I know that I haven't put that video up, but it'll be hopefully up before this video. Hopefully I keep it all in order. And when I did this, I did it out of desperation, as I mentioned in the other video. But when I started doing this diet, I realized we have been taught to eat all vegetables and fruits. And although that is healthy, I would argue in the days when our ancestors were growing their own food, they were growing it accordingly to the weather, according to the season, and they were eating from garden to table, and it wasn't being transported hundreds of miles or kilometers, whichever one you choose. They weren't sprayed with a gas that simultaneously preserved them and actually ripened it. So it doesn't ripen on the tree, it ripens artificially. And all of these steps must have an effect on our end gut health, because I was primarily a very good eater. If I compare myself, it's kind of like monetary policies, you know. Woo, look what I remembered! Nice fat rag. If we look at even like the dollar, for example, the dollar is stronger than other currency. Well, that's because it's in relation to weaker currencies, right? So if you compare our food of our ancestors, they would get probably very sick on our food, because our food has incrementally been subverted and poisoned. So whether it's poisoned because it needs to look more red, or whether it's poisoned because it needs to last longer, like a packaged food, those things ultimately have an effect on us and our bodies. And some people, I would argue, such as myself and even my mom and my dad, actually, I think I get his stomach, actually. I'm getting my eyes after my mom, and I'm getting my stomach after my dad, which is great. Thanks a lot, guys. But I guess ultimately it's my fault, because I was the swimmer rushing to get to the finish line, and I guess I didn't pick up the things that may have slowed me down. So I always tell my kids, hey, it's your fault. You picked whatever genetics you wanted, but you made it. I mean, you won the race. But all kidding aside, these things have historically been changing so slowly that our bodies are not getting the same apple they were getting 200 years ago. And it is also, I would argue, that not only are we getting things that are out of season, like, for example, I have a pineapple in my kitchen right now. I'm sorry. I just thought maybe I'd bring your attention to what's going on outside. There's no way you could naturally be eating a pineapple, because, unfortunately, that is not something that is good for our body. Like, for me, I probably should not be eating an orange. And the reason for that is because I don't live in a tropical area. I don't live in an area. Woo! Jeez, he scared me. I didn't hear him. I didn't hear you, you silly boy. Okay. Let's go. So that, I would say, is very different. So a lot of people that still, like me, believe that, for example, eating healthy is eating fruits and vegetables. Yes, and that is true. I would believe that that's true, but unfortunately all of our food is kind of like preserve poisoned or genetically modified. You don't know what you're really getting in that apple. That's the first thing. The second thing that I would argue, what was the second thing actually? There's a few of them. I just want to keep them in order, but I already forgot the second thing. All right. The second thing I would argue is, oh yes, I know. Because it goes back to fruits and vegetables. If you really think about it, I mean, you really have to go back. Farming is only about, I believe it's about 500 years old. I'll check it and put it on the screen. But farming is about 500 years old, give or take. Even if it's 1,000 years old. What did we do before farming? Let's think. Before farming, we were people that went and followed the food. So wherever the gazelles were, that's where the people camped. And really, I said to my mom, this carnivore diet kind of makes sense because before we had farms, before we started building homes and homesteads around those farms, we were animals, like any other animals, we followed the food. I had no idea what he just found to eat. What are you eating? This kid is eating something. I don't know what he's eating. This kid, sometimes. So, I would argue that farming itself is unnatural. And I don't mean unnatural. I mean, obviously we do it and it works. And it's great. It has changed the way that humankind has grown, and we've exponentially grown as a result. But we also were tied down to the land. So actually farming had two functions, if it was given to us, let's just say. First of all, it taught us to tie ourselves down to the land, so we were in essence a little less free. Okay, maybe we lived better because now we had a hearth and we had an ability to cook, and you know, you had chairs and beds and a roof. Okay, those are all great upgrades, but every upgrade comes with a side effect, and a side effect that makes us weaker in many ways. So I would argue that farming made us dependent on the land that we lived on. So if a farm crop failed, oh, he's nuts today. One day, not going out. Well, he went out, but he didn't go for a walk. That would be the next thing that I would say, that this carnivore diet makes some sense to me. And also, I would say politically, it ties quite nicely because, well, let's just look at it this way. If you create farming, which is basically a sustainable way of food, because before, if we followed herds and animals and we hunted and we gathered, we didn't really get tied down to the land. We went wherever the food went. But if you tie someone down, or a family down, to, let's just say, a farm, that farm you don't want to lose. Now all of a sudden, now you can attach taxes and liens, and now all of a sudden these people now become dependent. And I would argue that food was the way that they captured us in the first place, because if you own the food, you own the people that, you know, need the food. And if you look at it slowly, progressively, we went away from the farm, then they pulled us into the cities, and now people don't even know how to grow their own food. That would be another argument that I would say that this is a more natural diet than most diets, I would say. Like if we go really far back, me and my mom are not really in agreement when it comes to these points, and I understand her sort of resistance to my theory, because this is just a theory. And then, of course, there is another point, which is I walk in these forests, and I know because I have seen it before. I have, for example, so many berries that are never touched by bears, birds, or any animal. So that makes me believe that it's not something that's edible, because all of like the blueberries and raspberries and blackberries, all gone. The bears, the animals just they do not let anything go to waste. Let me tell you that. So my question, sort of the next point, is when you go into the wild, when you go into the forest, can you, without any worries, can you eat any plant, like branch or berry or leaf or mushroom? Can you? And if you're honest with yourself and you think deeply, you can't. You can't just eat anything in the forest, because there are many, many plants that haven't been farm trained or farm altered or farm developed just like our chickens are domesticated. So without domesticating these plants, like carrots or beets or potatoes, they don't grow in the wilderness. They just don't. Sorry to tell you guys, but they don't. I'm planning to start a garden. I ordered my seeds. I'm plotting my garden. And trust me, there's nothing in the forest that I can go besides berries. And I can't pull the berries out. I mean, I can pull the berries out and plant them in my garden, but I can't go find potatoes, like wild potatoes or wild beets, or right? So my next argument would be, can you go into the forest and hunt any animal, ostensibly, if you can catch it, or kill it in whatever, snares, whatever it's called, snares, or if you could shoot it with a bow or with a, I don't know, with a firearm. Can you eat any animal? And I would argue, yes. Sorry, I just can't. It's just so blistering in my face. I would argue yes. I would argue that you can ostensibly eat any animal, and even if it doesn't taste delicious, it might, my next door neighbor says, for example, what does he say? Doesn't taste very good. Oh, shucks, I can't remember. I'll ask him and I'll put it up on the screen. Sorry, I'm freezing. Woo! It might not taste the best, and especially if you don't have salt and spices and so on and so forth. It might not taste good, but it'll sustain you, and it surely won't kill you, right? Even like an eel, that's, I think, poisonous if it bites you, is fine to eat. Hopefully this camera lasts, because I didn't realize how cold it was. I'm really glad I didn't go out earlier. So that has been kind of, come on, Odie, we're going this way. Come on. That has been sort of something that I have been kind of playing with, because this diet has fixed so many things in my body. And you know the amount of doctors I had gone to see about my bowels, my bowel movements, my stomach pain, I had so much gas. It was so painful, like you would not believe how painful gas can be. And with that, most of the doctors told me I had IBS. Then all of a sudden, I find out this person has IBS, this person has IBS, this person has IBS, and they don't have the same things I have. But there is such a huge umbrella of IBS. It's actually, what it stands for is incompetent bullshit syndrome. That's what it is. It's the doctors don't know why you're having this problem, and instead of saying, look, you need to try a different diet, or you need to go to a nutritionist, or you need to go to, like, my daughter's a nutritionist, you have to go to a nutritionist, or you have to go on some sort of diet to eliminate things to see what's happening. No, they can't make money that way. And God forbid that you should go and start something, and it could be not this diet, like you might not be so sensitive as I am. But instead, you can buy a pharmaceutical drug that is supposedly to help IBS, right? So everybody wins. The doctor gets to look like they know what they're talking about. They don't. And they give you a diagnosis, allegedly. And then, lo and behold, pharma gets to win again. So it's the drug dealer and the drug provider, everybody wins, and you don't get better. I had IBS for 25 years, allegedly. in what I think it was 3 months of being on this diet, and 6 months I was so religious it was ridiculous. But when I started cheating, the symptoms didn't start coming back right away. Like I would have only bits and spurts of symptoms, like the emotional aspect. So the benefits that I've gotten so far from this diet, which is very difficult, is much more energy. I can have energy, I can eat twice a day and I have energy to sustain me throughout the whole day. No real cravings of sweet things if I don't cheat. If I maintain eating as soon as I'm hungry, I don't search for any sweets because I'm just not interested in it. My skin has gotten really, really good, except now I'm going through menopause and I'm living in an extreme sort of place. So my skin is struggling a little in terms of, just in terms of like moisture. At first I lost a lot of weight, which I wasn't really that thrilled about, but then I gained it back and now I have a very solid body, like it's not jiggly. I used to have jiggly. And I don't have any gas, no pain in my stomach. There are more. I just can't remember them all because I'm freezing at this point. But anyway, I wanted to make the case that this diet is also political. And the other case, political, and what I mean by that is people that have the ability to buy good meat are going to be more stabilized emotionally, I believe, more satiated, less obese. Obesity will, I would imagine that if people stayed true to this diet, like through and through, and they maybe cheated a couple of times with an apple or two, whatever, obesity would disappear. The problems with bowel movements, diarrhea, constipation, gas. There's just so many people with these problems, like people that are having Crohn's, an increase in Crohn's, in diverticulitis. Like I know 2 people in the last couple of months that have that. It's awful. They have to get parts of their bowel cut out. So I would argue that this diet would fix a lot of that. But then we wouldn't need, I know, we're going to go in. Then we wouldn't need all of the medical accessories, let's say, in the form of pills and potions and whatever. And the other thing that I find is that, and I'll cover this in another video, but I'll just say it here very quickly because I do need to go in. It changes your social ability to engage with people. And I will tell you that I noticed that food, being on this diet, it has become an entertainment accessory as opposed to a means to fuel your machine. We are a machine. Food should be looked at as a fuel, not as an entertainment piece or an accessory, because that's what's happened. A whole industry has been created around cooking elaborate, crazy, and I love all that stuff. I do. And I understand the allure of it, but I will tell you something. A lot of the food that we are consuming right now as a society is, I would argue, micro-poisoned. And I don't mean in a sinister way, although it is sinister, but it's mostly because so that the industry, so that you can get a banana in a place like this or a pineapple. But that's just not the way that it should be, unfortunately, even though it is wonderful. If it's like that, I think that that's what's happening, is because in order to make these great distances to go from, say, California or Florida, You just cannot do it any other way but through these chemicals. So I understand why they're being used, but ultimately it just shouldn't be eaten, because the distances that this food travels and what this food has to undergo in order for it to arrive to your supermarket and then in your shopping cart, and then so it lasts still while you get it home. It's an incredible amount of products that need to be used that we as humans shouldn't be consuming. So I will get into the entertainment of food in another video, because I just can't stand out here. It's just too cold. So look into it. If you're having health problems, I would say food is your superpower, your medicine, the cabinet that you should reach for that helps you heal your body yourself, not looking for an external factor to come in. A pill will not do it. A pill will create 3 more problems for you. And you do not create resilient sort of resolution skills where you find how it is that you can solve a problem, but not through sort of the fast, speedy highway of convenience, because that convenience is going to be one of the things that I think is hurting us as a society. Look at Pup. Pup's ready to go inside. All right, we're going to say goodbye. We're going to say goodbye. All right, wherever you are, I hope it's warmer. And I certainly hope that this makes you at least consider the possibilities that diet. Anyway, that's my problem. I'm going to have to say goodbye. I hope that you guys are all taking care of yourself. You're healthy. And what else? I never know how to finish these videos. All right, until then. Mwah.